In September of 1987, police have located a woman who has survived a brutal attack near the I-5 freeway. They are hopeful she could identify the I-5 Strangler who has murdered at least 4 women and cut up their clothes.
I was 29. I was down on my luck, having a really hard life. I was a prostitute. I was picked up. The man was very distinguished looking. He had a little white sports car, looked like he was in his middle 50s, salt and pepper hair, looked like a family man. He said, we will go right over I-5 to the Auburn golf course. We pull in. I think that's when he locked the door, and then he grabbed my arm. As soon as he grabbed my arm, I knew I was in trouble, serious trouble. And I said, no, and I jerked my arm back so fast that he lost the grip. Just as fast, he grabbed the back of my hair, and he slammed my face into the console. And he said, don't struggle, and you won't get hurt. I said, sir, please, I will do anything you say. And as soon as I felt him relax, I started fighting. It's just all about the fight then, just about anger and hate and everything in life that had just beat me down all my life, and everyone I loved, and to that second. And I just kept on fighting, and finally, he just somehow opened up the door, pushed me out it.
She saw in the distance headlights of a car heading her way, and she discovered it was a patrol car from Sacramento Police Department.
I look up, and there's an officer in a cop car. And he is yelling at me, are you all right? And I said, yes, get him, he's crazy.
The officer races after the sports car, pulls him over, and takes the man into custody.
Prior to making the stop, the officer saw the guy throw an item outside his driver's door window.
Law enforcement recovers this bag, and what's in the bag? We've got duct tape, we've got scissors, and we've got ligatures. Also, a garrote, all of the accoutrements that the killer has been using. What we have is a murder kit.
A garrote, which is, in this particular case, 2 pieces of wood doweling. They're attached together by white cordage that could be used to be wrapped around the neck, and when you pull on the sticks, it applies the pressure to the neck.
It's an extremely rare weapon. It's not a weapon you can buy. It's a weapon that you have to make.
Then detectives find out who police have taken into custody on the assault charges.
We were informed that Roger Kibbe had been arrested for trying to abduct Debra Guffie in Sacramento.
Roger Kibbe, the main person of interest in the case, who detectives had questioned 10 months earlier.
We thought that Kibbe was our guy, and it looked like we were correct.
Detectives started working as fast as they could to put together a case so they could charge him for murder.
As detectives work to gather evidence against Roger Kibbe, they get a call about another woman found dead right off the I-5 freeway.
A jogger going along the old Myers Gray Road could smell something in the area. He found the body of a female who was naked, laying off the side of the road about 20 feet. She was completely nude. Her pantyhose were cut almost in an identical fashion as the pantyhose for Charmaine.
It was just red flags. We have another I-5 killing.
The murder weapon was a piece of her clothing with a tree branch fashioned into a tourniquet, twisted around her neck to strangle her.
By the condition of the body, detectives know that she has been dead several weeks.
There was no ID anywhere around her. So the only way they could do an identification would be through either fingerprints or her teeth.
Police eventually identify the victim as Darcy Frackenpole. She was just 17 years old.
She had been a runaway from the state of Washington.
Then investigators notice a clue that breaks their case wide open.
We discovered pieces of cord around the scene as well.
The white cordage was in knots. In Kibbe's crime kit was his cordage of the same class characteristic, size, shape, color, type.
Investigators examined the cordage closely.
And it was unique cordage. We determined it was parachute cordage.
We found that Kibbe was an avid parachutist with over 4,000 jumps that he had done.
But it's still not enough to file murder charges. What they need is forensic proof that the parachute cord belonged to Roger Kibbe.
They took that white nylon cord and clothes and sent them off to the Department of Justice. And they asked them to look to see if they could find any forensic type evidence to match Roger Kibbe with Darcy.
As the cordage and clothing are sent off for extensive forensic testing, Roger Kibbe goes to trial for the assault on Debra Guffie. But unless they tie Roger Kibbe to the murder of Darcy Frackenpole, investigators believe Kibbe will most likely be back on the street soon and will kill again.
He was a brutal killer, but he was getting away with all of these murders of these women.